Hello sober souls, welcome to day 4 of our Roots of Resilience workshop. I can't believe where this week has gone. It has flown by, and I'm so happy today because it's just the most gorgeous day here in the UK, and I stepped out of my house with my scarf on thinking it was going to be cold, and it was so warm. And I've just taken Barney for a walk, my dog, and we've had a lovely walk around the woods, and it's just gorgeous. And I can see some spring flowers coming out already. Got crocuses on our lawn outside, and it's just it's starting to feel there's hope. Warmer weather is coming, sunnier days are coming. So as you're joining me live, give me a hello. It's really annoying. I'm so sorry. I cannot see the comments on my phone. I haven't figured out how to see them. If anyone can actually let me know, that would be amazing. I actually need to Google this and find out why I can't see comments. I can see people joining, which is brilliant. So again, thank you. Really, thank you for carving this time out, because time is precious. And I really hope you have been enjoying this week. I still got lots to share. Just a reminder that today is our last call for this week. Tomorrow is going to be a day where, so tomorrow and the weekend, there's no workshop. The next one, the last day, day 5, will be on Monday. So tomorrow and the weekend is the perfect opportunity for you to have a rewatch, have a catch up, make some notes. Everything is for keeps, so it's not going anywhere. But it's just nice to let this information settle, and it's really nice to just take some time and just plan. Also, I am going off to see my mum tomorrow, who I haven't seen for a while, and I'm just really going to enjoy spending the day with her because, yeah, time's precious, isn't it? So before I share today's juicy content, I want to let you know some really exciting news, and that is that the reset, doors are open to the reset. Now, what is the reset? Some of you may not know what the reset is. So, the reset is the perfect next step for you from here if you want to go and take this, like, okay, what's next? It's really, really it's a gentle toe dip, and it's a deeper dive into the roots of the wellness tree. It's going to really help you to learn the wellness tree methodology deeper, and so you can really start creating your own plan around this. Now, it's super low cost. It's literally only £23, and there's a current price freeze on this until June, when it's going to be £55. Still low cost, still amazing value. And then from there, you know, there's coaching, because this isn't coaching. This is more, here's more trainings. You can self-study with this, but it is not coaching. So the reset, I'll just tell you about that really quickly before we dive into today. You can go ahead, if you're interested in this, just send me a private message. And as I said, it's a deeper dive follow-on to this week's trainings and any of the workshops that you've already been to. It's going to be happening inside of its own private Facebook group. It's starting on, let me just check my wall chart. It's starting on February the 26th. So that is the Monday after next, and it's 5 days. I'm going to be doing a live training every day inside the private Facebook group for 5 days. Everything is recorded. It's all for keeps. And also there's no specific time that I'm doing it. It's pop-up. The idea is it's completely pressure free. So it's there for you to dip into when you're ready. Now, this reset experience literally is a reset for body, mind, soul. It is a breath of fresh air, and it's like nothing you have ever learnt before. We're talking about how to get out of the drinking cycle, how to take a break from drinking or deepen into your current present sober journey, how to not reach for the wine, you know, if you're in that stressful response, like how to navigate through that, what to do instead, really how to stay on track and create these consistent sober days, and lay this foundation for a really strong, steady footing so that you can really build that strong internal core. So perfect for you if you're ready for a fresh start, you're ready to really kind of do things differently using the roots. We're going to learn the roots, what each individual root is, and this will help you to know where to focus. So also with the Reset Experience, you get a 15-minute one-to-one call with me, and this is a really lovely way to connect. It's a very informal chat on Zoom, and it's about establishing like where you are, what you are looking for, what you would love to create, what kind of goals you would love to bring in. It's kind of where you're headed. And it's very personal because we're all on, you know, different places in our journey. So if you're currently still drinking, there's no requirements to stop drinking for the reset, but massive bonus points if you have already. But the intention is to kind of let drinking go with the understanding that it's like working towards that, and not everyone is ready to just stop drinking, okay? It's a journey. But if you are there and you're ready, then perfect. Now, I have space for 30 people inside the Reset. You know, I can't offer any more than that at the moment. So 30 is what feels like a good number. And as I said, it's literally just £23. So if you want to sign up for that, best thing to do is to drop me a private message. Happy to answer questions, and I can pop you the link to sign up, and that'll be something really, really nice as a next step. So that's the Reset. And now let's dive into today's content. Just throwing my notes away there. Okay, quick glug of tea. This is mango tea today, in case anybody wants to know what tea I'm drinking. And how are you all doing? I hope you're enjoying this week and getting some ahas, feeling fired up. Right, today we're talking about consistency with not drinking and consistency with healthy habits. We're talking about accountability, structure, staying productive, and tracking. Before I talk about these, I want to recommend a book, another book. I think I'm going to be known as the book lady. But if you haven't read this book, it's brilliant. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And it's the best habit book I think I've ever read. I think I actually got addicted to reading habit books. James Clear also sends out really, really nice emails. He doesn't send them out very often, but when he does, they are so valuable, very wise, really, really good content in his emails. So he's a really good one to follow. So Atomic Habits. Let's talk about consistency, because it is, I would say, the major thing that people struggle with. And I know for me on my own journey, I struggled with consistent sober days. So I could do a few, in the very beginning days, I could do a few days sober, but I'd find myself constantly thinking about the fact that I wasn't drinking, and it all felt really weird and uncomfortable. And to that, I'd say, don't worry about that, just keep going, because one day it's going to feel like the new normal. It is bearing with the discomfort, as I was talking about the other day. Day 2, I think, really sitting with that, befriending that discomfort, and just keeping on going, just staying consistent with your habits. Now, this is where we need to focus. We need to focus on the habits that we're doing every day, our healthy habits, rather than the not drinking part. So obviously the intention is not to drink, and that is where we're headed. And so this is where we really are building our foundation, our strong roots, okay, in our healthy habits. We're doing habits every day, whether they're healthy or unhealthy. So we can start to get really curious with ourselves and just notice what things we're doing every day and how do we feel about them. Because maybe you're consistently, and I'm not saying you are, but this is what I was doing, was I was consistently drinking wine most nights. Every night at one point. I got a croaky voice today. I was also consistently binge eating on sugar. And I was consistently sitting on the sofa for ages, not really doing anything. And I was consistently binge reading Quit Lit and not taking action on it. And I was consistently... sorry, a message popped up and just distracted me then. I'm not going to swipe it away because when I did that the other day, I think I came out of my screen and I couldn't see what was going on. So I'm just going to leave it there. I was also consistently letting myself down. And this is the big piece. And this is what so many people struggle with, because when we consistently feel like we're letting ourselves down, then we start beating ourselves up and we feel really low vibe, really down, really depressed. And this is where more than ever we need to bring in that almost like that inner parent and reparent ourselves and like pick ourselves up, scoop ourselves up, like come on, we can do this. You know, we really have to listen to how we're talking to ourselves. Imagine a friend was knocking on your door, right? And she was needing some comfort and someone to listen and someone to just show her some love. We need to do that for ourselves. Show ourselves some love. And this is the... what's the word I'm looking for? This is the kind of, I can't think of the word, but it's like the feeling of, the vibe of how we need to be with this is to really guide ourselves, nurture, keyword nurture, ourselves through, especially as we're focusing on building healthy habits. And as I mentioned the other day, our healthy habits are the bones of our sober plan, our framework. They're the bones and they hold us together. It really is like this supportive shell. This is why I love the wellness tree so much, because it really shows us where to focus. Consistency with not drinking is supported by consistency with practicing our healthy habits. Now, yesterday I talked about making a list of what self-love it means to you. And hopefully in that list, if you've had a chance to create that list for yourself, and if not, it doesn't matter, but just carve out some time to do that. Hopefully you've found or will find the things that you love, that you're passionate about, that mean a lot to you. And these are the things that we really want to be giving our time and our energy and our focus to. And in order to do that, we need to have, to be in the right mindset, to have good energy to do that, to pour into. So we have to make the right choices. So what things would you love to do in your healthy habit plan? What does that look like? It's different. I'm going to see if I can just swipe this message away. There we go. It's different for all of us, and there's no one size fits all. I have spent the last 7, nearly 8 years creating a morning routine. I call it a morning ritual, and I have one. I have been doing it for all of that time. Some days it's very small and other days it's a lot longer. But this, having a morning ritual, is such a great idea. I believe it's, it's setting the intention for our day. It's carving out time in the morning just for ourselves, where we can give to ourselves first and then give to others from that topped up place. Now, before you say anything, I completely understand that people are busy. People have kids, businesses, loved ones to look after, homes to run. Maybe you're not sleeping well. Perhaps you just have insomnia, you don't sleep, you're poorly, you have a health issue, you're looking after a loved one. There's tons of stuff that can really interfere with this. And I get it. I absolutely understand. And so rather than abandoning ourselves completely, we need to just see, okay, what's doable? What is the tiniest place I can start with this? It could be 10 minutes in the morning before the rest of the house is up. Maybe it's a bit later on in the morning after you've, got the kids ready for school, done the school run, or got on with whatever things you need to do, right? When can you carve that time out for you? When can you do your habits? Maybe there's some time later on in the day, or perhaps for you, evenings are better. I always recommend with my clients they have a morning ritual and an evening ritual, because the evening ritual is the perfect wind down routine, and our bodies need to be winding down to prepare for sleep. But what people tend to do is they'll have a really great morning ritual, really, really gorgeous, and then they go to work, they get on with their day, and that lovely feeling they created is gone, because then they're giving and it's endless outputs, and then they're back at home, stressed, feeling pressured, and like, give me that glass of wine. I just press the effort button, I'll start Monday, and we then start that cycle all over again. So what I recommend is maintaining that energy throughout the day, and we do this by having check-in points throughout the day, just checking in, like, how am I feeling? What do I need right now? And these are the basic needs that we forget. And again, the wellness tree, when you know the branches, everything is laid out for you, knowing exactly where you need to focus. But it's the simple basic things like nutrition, hydration, looking after our feelings, processing them, taking care of our feelings, giving to ourselves. Then we have things like finances, financial wellness, having a spiritual practice, looking after our home and our environment, fun and pleasure, play. Life can feel so serious. We're going to talk about the fun and the pleasure and the play part on Monday, and really bringing this into your plan, and it's going to feel really lovely when it all starts coming together. Okay, so have a think about what healthy habits you would love to start practicing, and just start. Maybe you already have a practice in place. So if you do, just ask yourself, am I happy with it? Does it feel good? Is it achievable? Do I need to scale it back a bit and practice consistency with just 1 or 2 things? for me, my morning ritual, it looks different every day, but it's definitely going outside in nature, walking my dog. I'm really lucky to be living in the countryside here. It's also sitting with my coffee, having my morning journal, and I just plan my day. And then it's things like sometimes I'm doing barefoot dancing. I need to get back into my running. It will be running again. What else is there? Sometimes meditation, but I normally like to do that towards the end of the day. And then I'm really doing practical things after that, like getting the dinner prepared if I can, you know, having my morning juice thing in the blender. And there's specific things that I'm doing ahead of time so that I am feeling in control and that I'm looking after myself. And most of the time it absolutely works. And what I've noticed is whenever I'm out of routine, like if I'm on holiday, in the past it's all gone a bit pear-shaped. So now I have a different routine in place specifically for holidays. And I will take with me specific foods, specific tools, specific things. If I know I can't buy those things over there, I'll take them with me. But anyhow, that's another topic. So that's consistency. The key to consistency is very simple, but it's challenging, right? The key to consistency is to just do it. Just do it. Just keep doing it. But what happens is our brain comes up and says, I don't feel like it. You just wake up in the morning and you know you have to go for that run or that yoga practice or whatever, and it's like, oh, I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I don't feel like it. It's warm, it's cozy. I'm too tired. Yeah? And so this is where the next piece is going to help, and that is accountability. Now, I believe it's really important that we hold ourselves accountable. But when we do this, you know, you can do it with apps and things like that. When you hold yourself accountable, it's easy to not tell the truth, and it's easy to like say yes or tick a day off or say you did something when you didn't, because I used to do this. And then I remember I signed up with an app that actually took money from your bank account if you didn't do it, and you set it up so you agree to the amount they're going to take, and they put it towards a charity that you absolutely would not want to give to. And I remember I think I set it up to give like £50 to a football charity or something, and I'm not into football, but I didn't stick with that app because then I started lying because I didn't want them to take the money. And then what I noticed from that is, oh, it doesn't feel good not to tell the truth. And so then I ended up having an accountability partner. So here's what I really recommend. You see, accountability is so good. And it's really exciting because if, for example, you want accountability to not drink, to stay sober, and to do some healthy habits, if you've got someone else or some other people doing it alongside you, it feels so fun. It's a lovely way of connecting. You feel like you're doing this tough thing together. It's really inspiring, it's really motivating, and you can really, really lift each other up. If you're looking for accountability, why not go ahead and post it in the group? It's a great way to make new friends. You might find, you know, we're worldwide here. You might find someone in your area or someone that lives near you, and you can actually meet them in person. But I love having accountability, and I love to have accountability partners in different areas of my life. Why not? You know, it's so like, I think it's like really smart. I really do. Okay, so that's accountability. Definitely have that in place. Now, structure really is, so to create some solid structure, you first of all need to know, like what we talked about yesterday, number one, what do you want? What do you want? So what is the goal? So whether that is an alcohol related goal, like to drink less, to drink not at all, go completely sober, or it's a healthy goal, whatever the thing is, then you want to have some structure around that. And it's just gone out of my head. I know. So you want to know where you're going is the second thing. So why are you doing it? Where are you going? So what is the thing? Why are you doing it? Where are we going? So you've got that super clear. For example, I am, let's say, I'm going to do the whole of March alcohol free, and at the same time I want to start meditating, and I want to get outside every day for a walk, for example. Okay, great. So then it's like, well, how am I going to do that? When am I going to do it as well? Okay, well, definitely not drinking. I would normally be drinking in the evenings. So in the evenings, I need to plan something else. Do you see what I mean? You're kind of thinking ahead, having your own back. You can get accountability in place for that. What are you going to do instead? So get some structure in place, some clarity. And these are the, what we work on in the wellness tree, in the roots, is why, where are we going, what are we doing, how, this is tapping into the new identity. How would I love to be? How would I love to feel? What would I love to create? Am I ready to revamp my life? Would I just love to reinvent myself and just be the woman that keeps saying, I'm going to stop drinking, I'm going to stop drinking, and it feels like we're just going round and round and round in circles. So let's actually start to toe dip together further into this. It's all an experiment. It doesn't happen immediately. We have to be okay with failure and feedback. Now, this is part of productivity, which I'll come to in a second. I just want to say about structure. When you know these things, the why, the where you're going, the what you're doing, you actually want to plan it and you want to calendar it. So set yourself notifications. So decide when you're going to do it. When are you doing your morning ritual? Or when are you doing your healthy habit? Get some accountability in place for it if you need to. Pop it on your calendar, like when, how long. You've got to be really, really specific. If we don't have specific goals, specific times, everything is planned, like to detail, we'll just drift. We'll we have to really, I think sobriety is really about self-study. We have to view it as we are really studying ourselves, almost like we're training for something or we're studying for an exam. It's that important. And in that process, we really get to know ourselves, what we like, what we dislike, what's working, etc. And we have to be okay with failure. We have to be okay with messy imperfection and days where we're just not feeling it. And we have to be able to hold ourselves through that, navigate through that. So the productivity piece, I absolutely love productivity. I have read, this is funny, I've read so many productivity books, so many ones, and I used to get stuck reading them. I wouldn't take action on them, or I'd make these beautiful plans and I'd carve out time and then I'd almost exhaust myself doing it and I wouldn't have the energy to actually do the thing. So biggest key for productivity is just do it. Don't think, do, done, next. Get your feedback from it. Notice if your excuses pop up, and you can just like observe those excuses and don't get caught up in your head in the emotional piece. We get so caught up in the emotional and in the drama. We're very, very in our heads with this, because I've been there so many times. Most of all, with your productivity plan, with the things, the habits, do you actually enjoy the habits? Because if you don't love them, if you don't enjoy them, you're not going to want to do them. If it's something that you don't particularly enjoy at the time, but it's something that will really drive you forwards, and you really notice the benefits from doing it, and you love the feeling you get once you've done it, and I'm thinking about my running there, then there's a reason to do it, okay? And then lastly, tracking. I can't emphasize enough the importance of tracking. Tracking is key because you get to see progress, you get to see how far you've come, you're giving your brain evidence that you're doing it. You also get to see patterns. So if there's a particular time every month, for example, when things go wobbly, you just fall off the wagon, fall off track, is that a time that's typical in your patterning? And so what can you do to really, give yourself some extra support then? You can then start planning ahead of time for when triggers may come. And this can be people or places or specific things that trigger you. And you can plan ahead for that. For example, you might say to yourself, okay, I'm not drinking tonight, and I know that when I come back from work, I'm going to be feeling really stressed and I'm probably going to be wanting a drink. So what am I going to do? So this is where you plan ahead and you commit, you take responsibility, and you promise yourself with some accountability, knowing that tomorrow when you wake up in the morning, how proud you're going to feel that you did it. You said you were going to do it, you did it. Go you. Isn't that amazing? And if you did that every day for 7 days, you've done a whole week. Keep going, you've done a whole month. And that is how the sober days add up. It's also how we build our resilience. Resilience is built in every second that you are doing something hard. There's so much that we don't see that's going on internally, spiritually, energetically. And we just think, I don't feel any different and this feels boring. And again, we're back in our heads. We're back in that emotional. We are escaping the present moment because it feels uncomfortable. And as I said, we need to go through that discomfort because that is how we build the resilience. And the more we do this, the more days we notch up. Okay, so absolutely track. I don't track alcohol free days anymore. I stopped doing that, I think after the first year, and then I went back to it. My favourite way of tracking, and I do it for my sugar freedom journey currently, is I bought a really pretty wall planner on Amazon. It was quite an expensive one, but I thought it's worth it. Really pretty wall planner. And I actually love to take a permanent marker and just cross the days off. There is actually a scientific thing about breaking the chain. There is a thing, I can't remember what it is now, but it is a thing. You'll have to Google that. Yeah, I can't remember that one. Some people love that. If you're really visual like I am, it's a really lovely thing to do. Or there's apps on your phone. I mean, there's so many different apps now that just count up the days. I think there's one called I Am Sober, which I used to use, and there's like a little diary bit on it, and you can journal your feelings, and I think they send you inspirational quotes. You can track your dry days on some apps. I know there's some for drinking less, if you're working towards sobriety. There's so much out there now, so much out there. And this was, you know, nearly 8 years ago that I began my journey, so things have changed a lot since then. But I remember when I first started out, I read a book called oh no, what was it called? 6 Weeks. It's by Lucy Rocker. 6 Weeks So Into Sobriety. I cannot remember. My memory is really bad today. Your 6 Week Plan, that's what it's called. Your 6 Week Plan. And I loved that book because it was a page a day, and she took you from literally day one of not drinking, and she told you like what kind of things to look out for and what would be going on and where you were up to, and I loved it. And I think there was, I mean, this is so long ago, it's really hard to remember, but I do remember writing, like, and it wasn't a lot of work, but that was such a comfort. So I had that book, I had my sober app, I had my tracker on the wall, I had my accountability buddy in my pocket, she was on my phone, and I was just cheering myself on. Now, I didn't have a coach at all. I decided to do it all by myself, which in a way I think, gosh, that was hard, but I'm glad I did, because I'm one of these people that likes to do things the really hard way for some reason. I seem to want to do the digging and the excavating and the really hard things, although I have got a coach for my business, and I absolutely know the value of coaching and, you know, the incredible insights that it has, because someone can't always see the blocks and things. So yeah, but yeah, you can do this on your own, or you can hire a coach, hire a mentor. Maybe you need some therapy or whatever, some support. There's so many different things out there. But doing it myself was how I really did discover the wellness tree, and how it has completely transformed every single area of my life. I'm a completely different person to when I was drinking. You know, it's just amazing, and it works for any life area at all. So that's today. Monday we're talking more about fear of missing out and how to have true fun, real fun. And we're talking about pleasure and how to make this feel really good. So no call tomorrow. Have the weekend to rewatch, to plan, to implement, to tweak, to change. Feel free to private message me, and if you want to join the reset, send me a private message, and we'll get you booked up. So excited. Any questions, drop them below, let me know, and have a lovely weekend ahead when it gets here. Take care, bye.